Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Barrington's webinar series focusing on new science and information to help you create cutting-edge formulations. Today, we're happy to host Dr. Soli Brouwer. She is the Chief Scientific Officer at Algatech. Liat Shemesh, she is the Marketing Manager. And Ken Seguin, he is Senior Advisor for the US. Everyone is muted, so please be sure to type your questions into the question and answer or the Q&A module at the bottom of the screen. You'll see the button down there, and we will answer your questions at the conclusion of the presentation. We will be recording today's webinar and posting it to the Hub section of the BarringtonNutritionals.com website. On the Hub, you will find past webinar recordings, along with slide decks, white papers, spec sheets, and other important information. Please feel free to share this information with your colleagues, and please reach out to your Barrington rep if you have any questions. So with that, Ken, I will give you the floor.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Chris. And hello, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us today on this webinar. And I think the industry pretty much knows us as Algatech, you know, the world leaders in production of ingredients from microalgae. But we have a new name and a little bit of news here. We are now Solabia, Algatech Nutrition. Last year, Algatech was acquired by the French dietary supplement cosmeceutical ingredient manufacturer Solabia. And today, what we're doing is presenting really the first of the ingredients that have been developed by Solabia. And it's a very cool molecule that I think you'll be interested in. And I want to turn this over to my friend and colleague, Liat Shemesh, to tell you more.
Thank you, Ken. So today we are going to introduce you our prebiotic. It's called BioEcolians, but it's much more than a regular prebiotic. So here you can see we summarize the health benefits of the product. Prebiotic effect, we need to consume low dose to get a good result, high performance. Potentially supports immunity, supports weight management, stimulate beta defensin. This is unique to the BioEcolians, and we will elaborate on it. Improves bowel functions, and compared to other prebiotic, reduce abdominal discomfort and doesn't cause any side effects. And of course, everything is supported by clinical evidence that's conducted by Solabia Nutrition. So here we can see the molecule, the BioEcolians. We produce it from sugars by enzymatic process. And the BioEcolians is a short chain of glucose. DP is between 2 to 9. And we, as you can see, we have the linkages alpha-1 to 6 and alpha-1 2. This is the reason why it's considered as a prebiotic, and it's get to the colon and fermented by beneficial bacteria. We can see it in the next slide. So regarding regulation of the product of the BioEcolians, so it's considered as a food ingredient in almost all countries. In Europe, it's not considered as a novel food, and there is no E number classification. In the US, it's firm grasped. And regarding health claims on the product itself, so of course it's a prebiotic. We can use supports normal, healthy digestion and support normal bowel functions. Non-GMO project verified, allergen-free, gluten-free, and vegan. Regarding the metabolism of the product, so it's a non-digestible oligosaccharide, so it skips the upper part of the digestive system. It's not hydrolyzed, it's not absorbed. It's reached directly to the colon, and then it's fermented by beneficial bacteria, mainly two types, Bifidobacteria and Lactobacillus. And as you can see, as a result of the fermentation, we have two things. One, we stimulate the growth of the activity of beneficial bacteria. We said Bifidobacteria and Lactobacillus, that they have a significant role in regulation of the immune system, but not only, also improve digestion, vitamin productions, and much more. And the second thing is the result from the fermentation, we produce short-chain fatty acid, 3 types, acetate, butyrat, and propionate. And they have also many health benefits, and they are very important for our health, our well-being, and preventing illness. Now we will move on to Soli. She will show us the clinical evidence.
Hi. Now we'll go over a few studies that we have conducted with BioEcolians and see how it affects in many ways. The first study I would like to review is a clinical study that was conducted with 50 subjects. It was a double-blind placebo-controlled study, and it included two groups. One group received BioEcolians 2 grams per day for 28 days, and the other group received the placebo for the same duration of time. The study included a population of people with the IBS-C, which is irritable bowel syndrome with the constipation. And the objectives of the study were to evaluate the effect of the BioEcolians on the symptoms, the gut microbiome, and stool frequency and consistency. Subjects were requested to complete the diaries daily, and they were also weekly assessed. And they came back to the clinic after 7, 14, 21, and 28 days. Here you can see the percent change from baseline in the strains of bacteria in the feces. Feces was taken at baseline and after 28 days. You can see in those columns, this is the group of the subject that received BioEcolians, and you can see that there is elevation, significant elevation in the number of bacteria from beneficial strains such as Bifido and Lacto. And compared to the placebo group, there was either no change or even slight reduction in the number of those bacteria. And the reason those specific bacteria were chosen to show the effect is because they are, all of those strains are considered beneficial bacteria, and they are important for the balance of the gut and also for the promotion of our health and well-being. In addition to evaluating the gut microbiome, they also measure the concentration of beta-defensin in the feces. And here you can see that in the group that consumed the BioEcolians, there was a major elevation in the concentration of BioEcolians as compared to the baseline, about 21%, which is high, as compared to the placebo, which there was no effect. And why we measured beta-defensin, why it is important compound. So beta-defensins are small peptides that are produced and secreted by the colon epithelial cells as part of their defense mechanism. And actually it's kind of natural antibiotics. And what beta-defensin is doing, this is an illustration of a bacteria, and the small, those are the beta-defensins which they enter the membrane of the bacteria wall, and they make holes and actually lead to the death of the cells. They only aim at pathogen bacteria, gram-negative bacteria. They have no effect on the beneficial bacteria. And the BioEcolian was the only prebiotic until now that have shown an effect on the production of beta-defensin. No other prebiotic have shown any effect on, or the beta-defensin was not measured at all. In addition to the fecal exam, there was also evaluation of several effects on bloating, pain, and discomfort, which are unpleasant symptoms of IBS with constipation. And it's also unpleasant symptoms for people, for healthy people, that sometimes they have bloating, they have discomfort, or they have constipation. So the product can be used also for healthy people with the discomfort. It doesn't have to be used specifically for people with IBS. As you can see here, for bloating, pain, and discomfort, there was an improvement in all three measurements. You can see the red is presenting the placebo, and there was no change from baseline till day 28. And the blue line represents the group that consumed the BioEcolians, and you can see that there is a major decrease from baseline, and also major difference from the placebo group. We can see nice change on day 28, but we can see also change that started on day 7, which means that BioEcolian acts very rapidly, and people can have results also after only 7 days of consuming the product. We also check the frequency and consistency of stool, which is very important for people who are suffering from constipation. And as you can see here, there was a big difference between the placebo, and there was a major elevation from baseline, 72% improvement in the frequency and 100% improvement in the consistency of the feces. Another study we have conducted included, it was an in vitro study, which we took a microbiome from human gut. We took several strains of lactobacillus. We incubated the bacteria with BioEcolians or with FOS, and we compared to see which strains grew faster and more, either with the FOS or the BioEcolians. And you can see with all 4 strains, the BioEcolians was much more efficient in growing the bacteria. So we can see that it has a benefit in promoting the growth of strains, and it is also more safe with no adverse events. It does not cause bloating, as most of the prebiotics do cause some discomfort and bloating. And our product, actually, it does not cause bloating. On the contrary, if people have bloating, it improves the symptoms. Another study that was conducted was with rats. There were 2 groups. First, the rats were inoculated with human feces, so they resembled the human microbiome in their gut. And then they were divided into 2 groups. One group received a control diet, which was regular diet that they consume. And the other group was supplemented together with the same diet with the BioEcolians. And you can see here that at the end of the study, there is a big difference in the production of short-chain fatty acid. Actually, the group that consumed BioEcolians produced double the amount of short-chain fatty acids. And also an important finding was the lower pH, as the lower pH is beneficial for fighting pathogen bacteria. Another study that was conducted with rat was in order to evaluate the effect of the supplementation with the BioEcolians on weight management. And here you can see there were 3 groups. One received the standard diet, the second group received high caloric diet, and the third group received high caloric diet with the supplementation and BioEcolians. And after 12 weeks of consumption, you can see here that the group that consumed high caloric diet had a major elevation in their total weight. And the group that received the BioEcolians, they did not gain weight, and even their weight was slightly lower than the control group. In addition, we also measured the food intake, and we saw that there was a reduction in food intake, substantial reduction, about 24%, and it is most probably due to reduction in appetite, and they most probably, because of that, they ate less. When we measure the total fat in the body and the abdominal fat, they were reduced as compared to the group that only gained weight while they were eating the high caloric diet. So we can see that this can be also another use for the BioEcolians is assisting with the weight management.
So as you can see, the BioEcolians is not only a very efficient ingredient that has many health benefits, it's also very easy to use molecule. So first of all, it's stable in heat and acid conditions, slightly sweet, similar density to sucrose, so it's very easy to replace the sugar or reduce the sugar and put the BioEcolians instead, easily implementation,
Okay, I will go on. It is water soluble. It has very low water activity and also very low caloric value. And it can be used in various applications such as tablets, RTM, gummies, liquid forms, and sachets. And here if we want to summarize the take-home message, BioEcolian is a prebiotic, but it's much more than prebiotic because it has advantages over other prebiotics such as the stimulation of the production of beta-defensin 2, which is also patent pending. It has no adverse events, which is very important. It is rapidly having an effect, which is also good for the compliance of subjects. It can support weight management, active in low doses with only 2 grams per day. Other prebiotics usually are consumed at much higher doses. And it's also suitable for a diverse formulation. And it can be used also in symbiotic products together with the probiotic products. And that's it. We'll be glad to answer questions if you have.
Well, that was excellent, Soli. Thank you. Very interesting presentation. It looks like we lost Liette. She did warn us that her battery was about to die, so my recommendation is that Algatech get an IT person.
Yes. Thank you.
So I've got a few questions for you, Soli. You know, I saw in several parts of the presentation you talk about the 2 grams serving size. You know, how significant is that in the world of prebiotics that the serving size is 2 grams?
In many products, it's 4 and 5 grams and even more. So it's more convenient for people to swallow or to have it with the other formulation to consume less. And also the fact that I think the major effect is having less adverse events because it's not pleasant to have more gas and to have bloating when you take a compound which is a dietary supplement. So together with the low dose and the fact that in general it doesn't have adverse events, I think it's a big advantage.
Okay, thank you. And I would just like to remind our attendees that you can ask questions down in the Q&A module at the bottom. You'll see the button. Another question, Soli. Source, like what do you make this product from?
Ken?
I'd be happy to step in on that. So it's really made from, it's an enzymatic process from that works on sucrose from sugarcane, and then maltose that is derived from wheat. And both are, the whole product is non-GMO verified, which is, very significant and important marketing aspect. And it is a gluten-free product. And I know sometimes with the initial source of that maltose, but it's a glucose syrup derived from maltose that the processing of which generally eliminates the potential allergens. And EU regulations specify that products can be labeled gluten-free if they are below 20 parts per million. And this product has actually tested just half of that at 10 parts per million. So it meets EU regulations and would be very unlikely to cause an issue.
Excellent. And so you're able to use the non-GMO Project verified logo on this product?
Yep. It is officially verified by them, which is, as you know, is really the gold standard for people interested in that.
Okay. It looks like we've got a couple questions here. First question is, what is it about the structure that makes it indigestible? Most alpha glucoside bonds are digestible.
The specific structure here, the 1, 2, and I can go back to that. That's make it non-digestible. It cannot be digested by enzymes, and it's also cannot be in the gut. It cannot be with the very low acid. It stays intact. It only can be fermented by the gut microbiome in the colon.
Thank
the
you.
specific alpha structure there is what makes it so indigestible.
Okay. Another question, does the 2 grams, do they need to be taken at the same time, or can they be taken 1 gram twice per day and still be effective?
Good question.
In the human study, they were taken once daily together, 1 hour before food.
So you recommend taking all 2 grams at one time?
Yeah.
Okay. Another question, out of all of the delivery systems that can be used for this product, which one do you recommend the best for compliance and the best for absorption or bioavailability?
Chris, I'm here on the line also, Liat. I'm able to connect from the other computer. So I think regarding the question about the compliance and best absorption or bioavailability, I think maybe the best compliance could be the gummies. Okay, and it's also that because the BioEcolians is stable in acid and heat condition. And I don't see any difference regarding the bioavailability or absorption in different forms.
It's not, actually it's not absorbed. It goes intact to the gut and it is fermented.
Yes.
So there is the form doesn't really matter.
Chris, I was also wanting to just add, in terms of delivery formats, to me, one of the things that's significant here is just the ease of manufacturing with BioEcolians. It's a very easy material to work with for all these different applications.
Excellent. Another question here. Did you study the enzymatic activity in processing of sucrose and another sugar from wheat? And then the second part is, do you also add bifidobacterium and other gut bacteria to this prebiotic?
First of all, we didn't add any bifidobacteria. This is only the prebiotic without any probiotic inside. And I'm not sure I understand regarding the question, the enzymatic process. So maybe you can explain more about the question.
I'll read it again. Did you study the enzymatic activity in processing of sucrose and another sugar from wheat? Question mark.
Yes, but I need to get back with the specific question answer to this question.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what the question meant because, you know, it indicated it's maltose from wheat, and this question was another sugar from wheat. And I'm not sure if they meant if there was some different sugar from wheat.
Well, the
or if this
sucrose
was
is from sugar cane, right, Ken?
right. And yeah, and the answer was yes, is maltose. So, you know, Liat, I think the question is really, what could you maybe say more about the studies that were gone on regarding the enzymatic activity in processing this?
I don't have here the information, but of course we can provide all the information after the webinar, no problem.
And Chris, how will that work?
So the person asking the question, they can reach out to us. If they know a Barrington rep, if they do not know a Barrington rep, they can just send an email to sales@barringtonnutritionals.com, and we will then connect you with our friends here at Algatech to answer your questions.
Maybe if they can be slightly more specific with what they would like to understand from us.
Okay. You know, I was also intrigued by beta defensins. I really liked that that little video you had. That's a very interesting part of this product. I'm assuming that's unique in the world of prebiotics, that activity. Can you maybe just touch on that a little bit more?
Yes, there are several beta defensins that are excreted in various organs, also in the lung. But this beta defensin 2 is unique for the gut, and it is, as I said before, it's like natural antibiotics. It is secreted by the gut cells, the epithelial cells, and it kills bacteria. And you know, the equilibrium in the gut is very important because we have all sorts of bacteria. We have the good, the beneficial, and the pathogenic bacteria. And the body has various mechanisms for defending the body, and it has also to learn and to know which bacteria are beneficial and which are pathogenic. And this is very interesting and unique that the body produce a compound that targets only the pathogenic bacteria and kill them. And so instead of taking antibiotics, you eat well and you take BioEcolians, and it helps you to maintain the balance and have less pathogenic bacteria in the gut.
Yeah, very interesting, thank you. One more question here. This was asked previously, but it looks like maybe just a little more emphasis here on the delivery systems. How I interpret this is there a certain delivery system that you recommend as superior over other delivery systems, such as like tablets, capsules, drink mixes, you know, liquid or RTD beverages? You know, is there a certain delivery system that you recommend?
I would say the gummies, the powder, and the tablets.
And why do you recommend those?
I think because the bioavailability is the best there, and it's more easy to prepare the tablets and the gummies and the powder with the product. So it's more easy to use.
Okay.
I think it also depends on the target population. Like if you intended for children, or I mean, it's each population, it's easier for her to consume different products.
Okay. For the previous questions, I guess we have a little more definition here. I don't know if you can see the Q&A, Solly, so the further to the question is asked, because you have a simple sugar in the first place and maltose is a complex sugar, how do you want how do you want to comprehend between the usage of these two sugar sources with respect to pH, alkaline and acidic pH?
We'll have to check with the manufacturer.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly how to, because we were less involved in the manufacturing process and more in the clinical evidence part of the product.
Okay. Well, I just I offer to the author of this question. Please reach out to us, and we will put you in touch with Algatech to get a detailed answer to your question. Okay. Well, if there's no more questions, why don't we go ahead and wrap this up? Oh, there. So, okay. I got your email. I'm writing it down here. Thank you. We will reach back out to you. So again, we recorded this. We'll be posting it to our website so that you can forward this on to colleagues and other interested parties. But many thanks to Solly, Liat, and Ken for your time today. And I hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.